Things.
Episode 9. Go. What?
I was going, so yeah, let's go. Sherman opened it, episode 9.
Oh no, you did record? You were such a jerk. Why? Every single time.
Opens.
Cold openings. I guess this is going to be tradition from now on. Well, here we start off with Into the 99, where we have 99 cards because Commander number 1. And today's topic is something that we want to all talk about because we're just so sick of hearing this again and again and again. Mm-hmm. But it's cards that everyone says you should be playing, but
why
like,
don't you have
should
this
you
in
be
your
playing
deck?
them?
Yeah, like you don't necessarily have to have them in the deck. You don't necessarily have to get the cards. They are good cards. We're not saying that they're not. Some of them really rock. But there's downsides to everything. Okay? So, heck.
And other options.
Yeah, there's tons of better options. So we're going to go over a few things. So first off is that we're going to cover like artifacts and lands and each color. We're going to try to talk about maybe 2 cards, but if we're running, past the time limit, we're gonna only cover the 1. But it's us. We improvise.
Yeah.
We talk about everything. Like, oh yeah, there's this, there's that, there's all these other things. We sing songs in between. Heck. So.
I feel like we could go on about this for hours.
Yeah, we can go on for hours. We're also not gonna consider things that cost a lot of money, like the dual lands. Anything that's over $100, it's kind of pointless to talk about. Like, we could talk about things like the Tabernacle. Yeah, who cares? Bazaar Baghdad.
Yeah, if you could put them in a deck, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily something that's
an
option for everyone.
Yeah, if you had unlimited funds, let's throw it in.
Well, then, of course, you should be playing all the dual lands in your 5-color Ramos deck.
Yeah.
You should be, but yeah, that's not what this one's specifically about.
No.
It's about what everyone has always heard. Someone's looking through a deck, they see something, and why aren't you playing that? Why don't you have this in your deck?
Mm-hmm.
And these aren't hard set rules, they're just
maybe you end up loving these cards and you like them in every deck.
Some of them that I know that Sherman wants to even talk about, I know that I've run them in most decks, and I will continue to do so.
Like, I run each of these cards in different decks that I have, okay?
Whether I like it or not.
Yeah. But overall, like, you don't have to. We're not saying that you shouldn't. We're just giving reasons why you don't need to.
And it's one of those things that, like, especially when you're relatively new or maybe new to a color type, you're seeing all these suggestions of, you should always play this.
Yeah.
That's how everyone feels about Rhystic Study in every deck.
Yeah.
Why don't you have Rhystic Study in that? I don't know. I didn't want to put it in.
Yeah. You don't need to have it in there.
But it's Rhystic Study.
There are no rules here.
Yeah, no rules. We don't care.
I mean, there's rules, but...
The show where we make up everything and the points don't matter. Anyways.
My starting left total 100. There are no rules here.
This is casual magic.
I am playing from 3 decks today.
And I have 9 poison counters, so let's see what happens. Yeah, 1 proliferating and I'm dead. Yay.
I like to live on the wild side.
We've actually changed how proliferate works today.
Whenever you proliferate, it goes down.
Every card you cast that says proliferate, you have to give me $1.
Oh.
Atrax is my new favorite commander.
Man, that defeats my new Modrofa deck now.
That's my favorite commander. Get out of here.
So let's start it off with artifacts.
Ooh.
Soul Ring. You guys knew it was coming. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Okay. Ranked number 1 colorless card in EDH Rec. And we're gonna mention EDH Rec for the rankings here because everyone mentions it in every single podcast. Everybody knows
familiar.
It. Yeah.
So it's a good tool for everyone who's playing this game.
Yeah. So Soul Ring, ranked number 1. Okay, the way we look at it is that it is the poor man's Mana Crypt or Mana Vault. Because let's face it, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, they're expensive. Not everyone can afford it. Not everyone can find it.
Yeah.
Okay, but it is the poor man's Mana Crypt or Mana Vault. It has been in every single Commander pre-con since, I don't know when.
And it's been in every single one of my commander decks, I think, ever.
Well, this is the format that Soul Ring really does shine in.
Yeah.
It's limited in most things, but everything is limited in Commander, so it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it is the best mana ramp card at 1 mana.
Yeah. It's very rare that I'll have a soul ring in my hand and decide to mull. I'll hold it almost every time.
And it works in every single color. It doesn't matter. So, and at this point in time, everyone's like, well, you just gave us a lot of good reasons why we should play it.
Yeah.
So why should you not run it? Well, how about let's start off with Command Zone episode on stats. Like, for those who don't know who the Command Zone is, they're probably are they the biggest?
I'd say they're probably the biggest Magic podcast. They're at least the most well known.
Yep.
Yeah, the most well known for Commander for sure. Okay, they talk about Commander. They've been around for a while, at least close to 4 years or so, 5 years maybe. I don't know. They're in like episode 300 or something like that.
Tons of episodes, yeah.
Yeah. So their stats episode, they split it up in two parts. One is the stats for the colors and all that stuff, and half of it was specifically about the Soul Ring and how good it was. And their stats explain that, Soul Ring's good, but at the same time, most people that play Soul Ring on turn 1 or turn 2, they don't win still. Because they tend to get targeted first. Because you're ramping so hard, everyone's freaking out.
Yeah, you're playing turn 3 when everyone else is playing turn 1.
Yeah.
So it's intense.
It's crazy. Like, you're accelerating the turns that you're going through.
Very, very rapidly. Especially depending on what kind of deck you're playing. Like, if you're playing something that isn't super high CMC, like, that changes the game. Like, if you're playing something like Elves, like, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to mention is Soul Ring is a great card in a lot of decks because a lot of decks need mana. You want a Soul Ring in a Dragon deck, in an Angel deck, something like that. Yeah. If you're playing big spells or trying to ramp out cards.
X cost.
All of that, sure. But if your deck has a lot of valuable 1-drops, Soul Ring becomes not as good, especially as far as the game goes. In Boros Soldiers, for instance, a lot of my cards are a 1-drop white or red card. I don't want to waste it on the Soul Ring because I'm trying to hit a second soldier on the second one and ramp out my soldiers as fast as I can. The colorless mana is not really important to me. If Soul Ring made colored mana, it'd be great.
Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be crazy. That's why everyone's going crazy with Arcane Signet right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
From Brawl.
But that's not even why people are going crazy about not so much crazy, but why they're so excited about the artifact from War of the Spark, the Nimizit face. It was like Firemind Vessel.
Yeah.
2 mana of any
that
color.
was so good because you could get the 2 mana.
Yeah, and it's 2 mana of any color.
Yeah, color fixing is a great thing.
Yeah, but Soul Ring doesn't do that.
No.
Yeah, and that's just it. In an elf deck, you want to hit a turn 1 Llanowar. You want a Findhorn. That is more valuable than a Soul Ring a lot of times. If I'm holding Soul Ring and a Llanowar, I'm going to drop
the Llanowar every time.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, like, Soul Ring overall, like, you become the target if you're playing, like, the first few turns.
Yeah.
Okay, because everyone's like, oh, no, here we go. They're going to ramp up like crazy. They're going to drop their bigger spells faster and everything. So that's already a disadvantage for you. Okay? And then later on, though, how good is a Soul Ring on turn 5, turn 6, turn 7?
Well, yeah, as far as the game goes, it doesn't... If you hit a Soul Ring in your draw on your 10th turn, ugh.
I know. I'd be so disappointed.
Yeah, because, like, you would rather have some other spell.
Yeah.
So, like, we're not saying Soul Ring is not good. We're saying Soul Ring, there's a lot of disadvantages to it at the same time. So it kind of balances out, which is why, like, it is good, but at the same time, it's bad.
Yeah, consider the other effects of it. Consider that turn 10 draw. Consider late game when you're looking for colored mana.
Yeah.
Like, don't just look at it as, like, this, like, perfect mana fix.
Yeah, it all depends, especially how consistently your deck gets to that higher mana.
Yeah.
Something like Chulane isn't going to need this really early because he's just going to be pumping mana out everything, and you're not going to want to draw it later into the game.
And also, we have to consider what colors you're in, like how many colors you're playing. If I'm playing a 5-color Kendrick deck, I might not consider that because what is the colorless mana going to help me with when I need the other colors? I'd rather put in like a Felwar Stone or a Chromatic Lantern or something.
Manolith,
Something that helps me get a certain color that I need. Soul Ring doesn't help me with that. Sure, it can get Kenrith out faster, but at the same time, if I want to use this ability...
Kenrith without the other 4 mana is not that great.
Yeah.
Gain some life.
I find its utility to be really good in 5-color high cost.
Yes.
Like, it's really good in my dragons.
Yeah, like I was saying, Dragon, something like that.
Eldrazi's, things like that.
Yeah.
In fact, like we were even talking about this earlier when we were talking about signets and how everyone's like, "Oh, the signets are awesome!" Yay!
That would be kind of my option for artifacts that maybe aren't necessarily the most.
I've said it once and I will say it again. Signets are only good in one deck specifically, and it's Riku.
Yeah.
In pretty much anything else, unless you're playing a 2-color, Sherman mentioned this earlier. Mm-hmm. If you're playing 2-color, it's a great option.
Right,
yeah.
But the more colors you go for, even as soon as you hit a 3-color, you're just wasting a spot in your deck, in my opinion. I'd rather just throw in the tapped duels from Amonkhet, stuff like that.
I would run a lot of the 3-color artifacts that run things like the banners or whatever, or the
talismans.
The talisman, like all sorts of things that produce all 3 mana for you for whatever you need. Mm-hmm. You know, 1 extra mana, you mana fix, as opposed to, oh look, I'm still missing that 1 color. I have all these other 2-color ones, but I'm missing that 1. What am I to do? Just keep on putting down something and saying pass.
Yeah.
Not fun. I'd rather play those silly manoliths that everyone has a copy of. I'd rather play the Darksteel Ingot, the Command Sphere, or Commander Sphere, or whatever. Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't care. Either way. I have
6 of them.
But that's the thing, you know, like, let's figure it out here. You know, how important are these signets? They're not that important if you're playing more than
they're
3
a really
or more
nice
colors.
Budget option.
Even then.
Even so, I would still always choose a Manolith.
Yeah, what beats a Manolith? Everyone has 10 copies of Manolith from one set. Okay, let's face it.
Even the diamonds, I prefer those over at the Moss Diamond, Fire Diamond, any of those.
But even the diamonds, like for monocolor, I can see. Okay, but if you're in the 3-4 colors and all that stuff, I'm still not going to run those diamonds. I'm going to run the stupid banners and all. Or Thornelva Drain has like the heroic banner or something like that. Like 3-4 whatever color. Yeah. You have the spinning wheel. You know, the one that like for Sleeping Beauty. I don't know what it's called, but that produces one of any color and it's 3 mana.
The reason that I like those diamonds over it, I like things that physically themselves tap for mana. I don't like having to filter a land through. To the signets.
You're just jumping off through all those hoops. Like, hey, look, here's my new Goldberg machine. I have to tap 6 different things to produce one
mana.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then you're playing your turn the wrong way, and then you end up needing 2 white and a black, and you suddenly have like a black and a red and a white because you didn't tap properly, and it only filters. I hate it.
Yeah. But let's go on.
Yeah.
Before we run out of time, because like I said, we can talk about this stuff forever.
Yeah.
So let's go into white. White, rank number 10 in EDH Rec, Teferi's Protection. I love the card. I love this card so much. Mm-hmm. Best protection spell for white. Does not affect tokens or counters as you're phasing out, and it protects you as well. It's instant speed. So, why should we not run this?
It sounds like a great card, Sherman.
Yeah, but first off, let's just go over the fact that the price alone is crazy. Okay, we talked about this last time. I bought it like for $55 last time.
Yeah,
that's a lot for one bloody card. This is only my 2nd copy when I bought it.
But still, that's $110 on cards.
Yeah. Okay. So just one copy is $55. What can I do with $55? I don't know, buy 11 cards for $5 each that will vastly improve my deck. Mm-hmm. Like, if you have a deck that you want to make more competitive or you want to, like, optimize it like crazy, you already have a bunch of, like, $5, $6, $7 cards, whatever, you don't know what else to do to improve it. Okay, fine, I can totally understand getting Teferi's Protection and throwing it in. Mm-hmm. Okay. But if you're just starting off, spending $55 on one bloody card
that you might not draw for 6 games.
Well, you might not even need it. If you're the dominant player in the game, Teferi's Protection is not going to do much to you. What am I going to do? Swing for 100 damage with Angels and Teferi's Protection?
Jokes.
Let this be a warning. Exactly. So it's an only if you're losing card or if something bad's happening.
Yeah.
And you might not even play it. Like you said, it is a big chunk of a deck's budget. outright. That's not to mean it isn't good. It's a very good card.
Very
but
good.
And I hear the excuses constantly, like, oh, but I can combo with this, I can combo with that. I can, like, Wrath of God first, and then Teferi's Protection. I can Fumigate, and then Teferi's Protection. I can do all these things. Once again, it's these just-in-case scenarios that I hate to hear every single bloody time.
Listen, as long as I have 18 turns uninterrupted, my entire board state, 23 open mana, no one's holding a counterspell, then I'm good to go.
Just watch me.
Undefeatable combo where I wipe the board and my stuff lives.
And you also
It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Oh man, but you also have to consider having that mana up. You know, if you have that mana up, would you rather be casting something, or do you have a mana sinks on the board that you can use that mana for later on, or for something else?
The other thing for me is if I see somebody in white with 1 white mana available, I'm assuming that they're holding a Teferi's Protection.
It's not even 1 white. I think it's 4, isn't it?
No, it's 3. 1 white and 2.
If I see them with the white mana available, I'm going to assume.
I assume I assume the best of people.
Yeah.
If it's no different than when people are playing blue. If I see 2 blue mana up, I assume they have a counterspell. I'm not going to be dropping things
The old blue
same.
bluff.
Well, I'm not going to be dropping things the same way. You're going to be playing a little bit closer to.
Well, yeah, you tend to look at that and see kind of what people are doing. Every green player with 1 open mana, cards in hand, you're wondering if they're holding that fog.
Yep.
Yeah, or 2 mana, Divine Intervention. No, not Divine. Whatever. The one with the Johnny coming in.
Oh, Heroic Intervention.
Thank you, Heroic Intervention.
Permanent Indestructible,
I'm a
hexproof.
hero.
But overall, I use it to my advantage as well, because if I'm playing white,
Crush that bluff.
I'm gonna crush that bluff. Because
I've never owned a Teferi's Protection in my life.
Someone's counting their damage. What does Teferi's Protection do again, guys? I don't understand how it works. Oh no, go ahead, play your turn.
Well, you guys know me. You guys have seen the way I play. I play the jankiest cards, so people don't know if I'm playing Teferi's Protection or not. The last time we were playing, the one person tried to get we were playing in a 6-player game. And someone tried to cast a creature to destroy someone's commander. Well, what's the commander? It's one that
Rurik Thar, 6 damage per non-creature spell.
Yeah, and I'm in the lead because I'm playing my Ragna Crab deck, so I'm in 96 health or something like that. I'm in the 90s, and everyone else is in 20s.
Everyone else is getting chunked by that Rurik Thar ability.
Yeah, and they're casting a creature spell, and I'm just no, wait. Let me think about this for a second. And I'm calculating, okay, I'll counter it with my black counterspell,
that nobody knew
that
existed.
nobody sees. And they're just
it was
why?
a funny result, the look on everyone's face when you hit it.
Yeah, and I'm just but it's an advantage for me if they keep their commander around, okay? Because every time you guys are casting something, you're gonna take damage. So I take the 6 damage. I don't care. I'm going down to 90 life. Whoop-de-doo!
The counter spell hits different when it's black.
Yeah, and it's Withering Boon, so I lose 3 more life as well. So I'm okay, I lose 9 life in total. So I'm at 87. I'm still ahead. I don't care.
I couldn't believe
the look
that.
on the faces of everyone though was just no one could believe that someone would do that.
Everybody's why are you? Yeah, everybody was freaking out. Why would you counter Rurik Thar?
In life.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's why I like playing jankier stuff, because Teferi's Protection people expect nowadays because it's so powerful. I'm just who cares about Teferi's Protection?
Well, I
ignore
never
it.
would have expected what you played.
Yeah.
Never in a million years. So.
And I bought the second Teferi's Protection thinking I'm going to put it in some other deck or whatever. And then I'm wait, it goes perfectly with my StarCraft deck. Because it's if the Terrans lifted up their base and moved somewhere else and then dropped it down. They're where did they go? I am protected! Suckers!
Said deal with those Zerglings the right way.
Zergling Rush. I hate you all. So, but that's Teferi's Protection, right? Number 10, expensive, really, really expensive. But once again, it's better to put your money into a bunch of other cards to improve your deck overall than just that one card.
Even if you did one $20 card and a bunch of lower costs, if you had that
it's still good. A $20 card is still really, really powerful.
That's major.
Yeah. It's it's the same argument. Should I invest $200 in this dual land, original dual land, or go with these tapped lands?
Yeah. Well, it all depends really what you're trying to get out of a game, right? And sure, if your whole point is that you need to win this game, no matter what, it's got to happen, then yeah, Teferi's Protection is great. It's a really good protection card, but in all other situations, it really is, do I need this, and do I even have the board state when I draw it for it to be worthwhile?
Yeah.
You draw it after someone already wipes the board, and then you're just kind of sitting there.
I'm just going to discard.
Yeah, well, you're just sitting there, and, oh, well, here we go.
Oh no, someone's comboing off. Let's see. I'll just Teferi's Protection so I can get second place at least.
Yeah.
So, but that's our white one. And next one's gonna be black. So, black. Who wants to take a guess at what that's gonna be? It is ranked number 1 black card in EDH Rec. Demonic Tutor.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Love Demonic Tutor.
I love it too. I run Demonic Tutor. Everybody runs tutors. Let's face it. Everybody runs tutors. This is one of the best tutors for black. Probably the best one, considering that it is ranked number 1.
Yep.
It is a low-cost tutor. So that's fantastic. 1 in a black to search for sorcery speed, to search for any card you want in your deck to put in your hand. Fantastic.
No reveal needed, yep.
Yeah, unlike all the other ones. So, why should you not run this? Anyone? It's a great card. We all run it. We all admit it. It's ranked number 1. But, first off,
It's
the price.
expensive.
It is expensive. The Demonic Tutor runs you around $30 on the low scale.
Yeah.
Okay? Low scale, low end, $30. Come on. For a tutor, it's like, I'd rather spend the extra 2 to run a Diabolic Tutor, which is 50 cents to $1. And that one's ranked number 3.
Yeah. So it's almost as good.
Yeah, it's almost as good. That shows you how good Diabolic Tutor is, let alone the fact that it costs 2 extra mana. And it's $29 cheaper.
Yeah, like it is negligible cost.
Yeah. Okay, so that's already the big thing, the price. Okay, $30 compared to $1.
Yeah.
You can have $29 to upgrade the rest of your deck. But not including that. Okay, when you're using a tutor, people freak out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, what are they going to get?
Yeah. Are they getting an answer? Are they getting a combo piece?
I always assume a combo piece. I assume the worst in people.
Yeah.
That says a lot about me.
And that's the thing. When you're tutoring for a combo piece or the right removal, people are gonna freak out. Okay, because they don't know what you're grabbing. You can tell them, I'm grabbing a removal for this, and you're hoping that everyone believes you. Or if you don't announce what you're grabbing, people are like, okay, we're going to target you now, or we're going to keep up that counter spell, or we're going to do whatever to...
they have what they need in hand.
Yeah. Okay. And then you have the other argument of, but you can use it to get ramp if you're short on mana or color fix your land. If that's the case, you should be running more ramp in the first place.
More land, yeah. If
Yeah,
you're
you
demonic
should-
tutoring for a land,
You should fix your mana base.
Or you should not have kept that hand in the first place.
Yeah.
Let's face it, okay? Like, if you're keeping like a 2 land hand because you have a demonic tutor, because you're like, oh, I can grab another
this
land.
will get me the swamp I need.
Yeah.
It's all coming together. I'm going to ramp
All
into
coming
4 mana
undone.
diabolic tutor for a 5th swamp, and we're there.
Yeah, that's just a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
So, like,
There's some like deck editing that's needed to be done if
Yeah.
that's what you're using your tutor for, I think.
Well, and realistically, people should just put more lands in decks anyways.
Just
Yeah.
across
You see-
the board.
You see lots of people just throw in that minimum 32, 33, and 32, 33 is a great number in a low-cost deck,
yeah.
but
Like-
it's not a great number at anything
Yeah.
else.
Like, when I first got into EDH, in my play group, that was the consensus. 33 lands. Because you want to play 33% of your deck as lands. And I'm like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
That is so low. And they're like, how many do you put in? I'm like, I put in anywhere from 36 to 38, okay, of just lands. And that's not including my mana ramp.
Yeah.
Okay, and my mana ramp is anywhere from 4 to 8.
Yeah.
Sometimes 10 or 12, depending on the deck. Okay? But I'm closer to overall with lands and my land ramp around 45% to 50%. And they're like, you're crazy. Why would you do that? And then we start playing, and the next thing you know, it's like, hey, no fair. You're playing like 3 to 4 spells a turn. Well, I can only do 1 spell per turn. Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, a 2-to-1 ratio is a nice idea.
Yeah.
I think my Golos deck is like 90% land ramp.
Yeah.
90% land
As it
ramp,
should
land,
be.
It's
or...
Golos, so it depends on your commander, depends on your mana curve, depends on everything, right?
Yeah.
But to have the excuse of, I'm going to keep the Demonic Tutor in my hand so I can grab that mana ramp that I really need, it's really, really sad in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I do not agree with this. I do not care about that reasoning. I love Demonic Tutor. We all love Demonic Tutor, but at the same time, for $30, I cannot afford to put it in every single black deck I have.
No, it's a good option. Or even if you wanted to play something a little bit more on a higher competitive level.
Yeah, scale your power up a little
Totally.
bit.
Yeah. Otherwise, use something like a Diabolic Tutor or just dump in more draw. Like,
Yeah,
that's another
exactly.
option. That's another great fix.
Yeah, like with the Madrofa deck I was telling you guys about that I was planning to make, it's more on the budget side, and I'm trying to dig through my cards. I'm using cycle lands and cycle cards. I have a lot more draw. I have explore. I have all these things to get to the cards that I need. I don't have a demonic tutor. I don't even think I put in the diabolic tutor in there to come think about it.
Yeah.
I gotta go through my deck list. But I'm pretty sure I have no tutors in it just because I'm just like, I'd rather just like put in there explore or a psychomechanic or something like that. You know, just to get to what I need.
I get that. A lot of my decks are like that. There's a lot of draw. There's a lot of even like group huggy sort of draw.
Yeah.
Like a Temple Bell and Howling Mines and stuff. But just so I can get to what I need. So.
And black is, let's face it, black is not shy when it comes to card draw.
No.
Okay? If you're in white and there was a card like Demonic Tutor in white, okay, I'm not talking about Idyllic or
Yeah, just a strict copy, but with white instead of black. Mana.
yeah, then I could totally understand.
Running
But-
and everything, yeah.
But at the same time, that tutor would probably be around $50 instead.
That'd be a $100
Easy.
card,
Easily. Okay?
Yeah. We've seen what happened with Smothering Ties. It would be real
Yeah.
pricey.
Yeah.
Smothering Tithe and then one that everyone's like, I gotta throw in. And I'm like,
And everything that has white, everyone's like, oh, well, you need it. And
You don't need
So
I
it.
don't need it.
if, if you're playing against a Niv Mizzet and an Ekusar, sure, great card to have.
But with Smothering Tithe, it's like, okay, are you gonna use that mana ramp? Okay? If you're in Boros and you have, like, the Sun Forger, okay, I can totally understand that. Alright? But if you're playing nothing but, I don't know, vampires, okay, or soldiers,
Yeah.
okay, I would rather not have Smothering Tithe. I would rather put in something that lets you have card draw, you know, like Mentor the Meek, Dawn of Hope, things like that, Temple
Me.
Bell, Howling Mine, all that stuff over Smothering Tithe because your mana curve is already so low. You need that card draw.
Yep.
Adding in Smothering Tide doesn't really help you because with all that card draw, you're going to be dropping lands every turn anyways.
Well, Smothering Tithe and Mystic Study also just make you sound like you're cosplaying a parrot. Did you pay the one? Will you pay two? Did you pay the one? Will you pay two? Did you pay... What do you mean you'll pay the one?
Polymonogram. Yo.
Are you sure?
Oh, I didn't even think of that, but that's so true. Oh.
What do you mean you'll pay?
I love seeing people's face when someone actually just pays it every time. They're like, we pay two? Yeah.
I have a soul ring.
That's why everyone says
That's
need
why
Soul
everybody
Ring.
loves a soul ring because everybody plays Smothering Tide.
Yeah. No, it'd be fun if you had like two people that have Smothering Tithe. Okay, so those two people that don't draw or don't pay for it, you have the two treasure tokens, and then when it's their turn, it's like, no, I'll sack those two treasure tokens to pay for the Smothering Tithe from my opponent, and then I don't have to worry. So that'd be the perfect way of doing it. So everything's fair. So let's go on to blue, one of my favorite colors.
I'm
Yeah.
so ready to talk about this. I don't think anyone's ever been more ready to talk about this than me.
I'm more than certain everybody listening to this knows what's coming. Because it's on everyone's list every single time. We're going to put it on ours as well.
This is my least favorite card in all of Commander, and the only thing
Here.
advocate for being banned. I believe entirely this card should be banned from the format.
Should we just skip saying what it is and just go on to why we should not do it?
Everyone knows what it is.
Yeah. It's Cyclonic Rift.
Get out of my house.
Once again, I still play Cyclonic Rift.
I know you do.
Hey, I do it to win, okay? I don't do it for emergencies.
And there we go. I think that right
If someone's
there.
going to win...
If you Psych Rift and win, it's pretty good.
All right.
I do it in Rashmi if I'm going to Crater Hoof Behemoth the table.
Yeah, even if someone's going to like attack everyone and combo off and win, I'm like, and I have to Psych Rift in my hand, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Let's just let them win. I don't care.
Otherwise, you're just
Stalling the game, and it's going to be another half an hour. You know.
Yeah.
There are some times when you're holding a card, whether it's Cyclonic Rift or anything else, and just because you could
Doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't-
Well, yeah,
you
we've
should.
talked about sandbagging a game a little bit sometimes. 'Cause
Just-
it's not fun to drag that game out the whole
like
time.
when you already know who's going to win, like you've said, like, and not. And here's the thing: it's like I'm not talking about like knowing who's going to win and picking up, because like I'm not really an advocate for scooping. I'm definitely an advocate for playing out the game and seeing how it goes. Because more than once have I decided to do that and ended up winning.
Yeah.
But if you're holding a card like that and you're looking to put everything back in somebody's hand, you're looking to wipe the board, and then you guys just end up playing 12 more turns and that same person ends up winning. Like, what was the point of that?
And it also depends on the power level of everyone else playing. Like,
Yeah.
if I have a power level of 7 or 8 and someone's playing like a pre-con,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna board wipe.
Rift them?
I'm like, I'll use a Psych Rift just to bounce one thing just
Yeah.
cause. Okay? Because I still I don't want it to be a dead card in my hand.
No, and that's still a strong card.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll be, like, I'll take a nice little concept and I'm like, no, I'll put the Psych Rift under it. Yay!
yeah, then you're bouncing.
Yeah.
Every turn, that's all right.
Like, who cares, right? I'm not going to be a jerk about it, but I'm gonna sandbag. I'm going to play according to the level of everyone else's deck and my deck, and I want to go for the win. But, like, Cyclonic Rift, we don't even have to go over the benefits. Screw that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Everybody knows
gets
about
it.
Yeah, everybody knows it. Everyone's seen it. Everyone hates it, but loves it at the same time.
Yeah.
So, let's go on to the next part.
I need to straight out say, I do not love it at all. I hate it in everything. I've taken out every copy except for the one on Rashmi, and I only play Rashmi if I'm annoyed. If I play Rashmi against you, you have made me angry.
I have Cyclonic Rift in my Locust God deck just because it's my very first deck that I put a lot of effort into.
Yeah.
So I will never tear that one apart. I'll keep it in.
Aww.
And I have 2 more copies of Cyclonic Rift, of which I've yet to put into any deck because all my other ones are jank and they don't fit into it.
Nah.
Because it's like, I want to use it for book tribal, but I can't because there's no books.
Guys, these are just books. Just books. Draw, book, draw. Psych Rift.
So, oh wait, I have a Gifts Grimora. Everyone discards down the hand side, and I'm drawing cards like crazy. Yeah. So, why should you not run a Cyclonic Rift?
You like friends.
that is one. So, once again, price.
It is a pricey card, yeah.
Yeah. It's not as pricey as the other cards we talked about, but it is dropping in price, which I'm very, very surprised about. Because it used to be like a $40 card, and it's been slowly dipping.
It's also difficult to find as well. You'll go into a lot of local game stores, you're not going to see it in the shelf. It generally flies off pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I think another thing about this is that because the community is behind not playing it, people are just getting rid of it. You're seeing a little bit more.
Yeah, a little influx of stock and dropping in price accordingly.
Yeah. So everyone in the public that's playing Commander that's like, no, I will not play Cyclonic Rift, good on you. I am not one of these people, but good on you.
But we are.
But yeah, it's normally around $20 to $30 now, depending on the condition, what you want and everything. And most of the time we're talking about near mint to mint, okay, for these prices. For like things that are like well played or whatever, they're going to be around like $14 to $19 kind of deal, all right? But there's also budget cards that I love to run that people don't run in Commander as much. River's Rebuke is been getting a slow following. It is a 6 mana cost, 4 and 2 blue, sorcery speed, where it's a one person, like a target opponent board wipe.
Oh.
So the other two aren't affected. It's you target one opponent.
It's Psych Rift at one person.
Yeah.
That's a
For
little
6
bit better.
mana, sorcery speed. That is a very, very fair card.
Yeah.
But my favorite, I love this card, Washout. Especially when I'm playing Menarch. Because I'm playing with colorless cards normally, and I don't care what color you're playing. So Washout basically says, pick a color,
Bounce it.
bounce all those cards of that color. Okay, non-land, of course. So if I'm playing Menarch, and it's like, even though I have blue cards, I don't have as many as everyone else. And then back to the
Sherman!
What? It's like a $1 card.
That's cool.
It is a good card.
I've literally
And
never
it's an
heard of that
instant.
card. That's dope.
It's
I know.
great.
It's cool.
Washout's also in Rush Me.
Oh. I love Washout so much. It's so much fun. But the problem is with Washout is that I get more hatred from Washout than Cyclonic Rift.
You shouldn't.
Because everyone's so used to Cyclonic Rift. They're like,
People
yeah.
Well, people unanimously hate Psych Rift, right?
Yeah.
No one expects the Washout. And if you're the guy with the color they choose, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, look out.
It's like, come on, guys. Like, it's not like I play Iona, even though it's banned.
Yeah.
Or rather, Iona.
Yeah.
There were many times though, but Iona was one of those cards that like when it got banned, I was not too against it because like many times when I was playing Angels, I would hold Iona
Yeah.
And not drop it, yeah.
and not because again, it's one of those things that was like
It's not fun to play against.
the cards that we're talking about, with the exception of like the Soul Ring, are things that even though everybody quote unquote says you should run them, some of them are inherently like not like the things that I don't want to play are things that like aren't fun for everyone.
Yeah.
Like those are things that I personally like to avoid. So although there was an Iona in the Boros Angel deck that I was playing, I didn't like playing it.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't want to ruin somebody else's night just so I could drop this
Yeah.
angel, you know? So.
And Washout is more fair because it can affect your board as well.
There's another really good one as well that a lot of people... I haven't seen anyone else put one in a deck yet. Flood of Tears.
Ooh.
It's one of the new ones, and it basically Psych Rifts everyone, but if X or more permanents are returned, I can't remember how many it is, you get to put one permanent from your hand back into play.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It's almost like Time Wipe where you bounce one creature back and you destroy all the rest, and then So I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, Flood of Tears is actually going to be a staple card in a Nicobolas commander deck that I'm playing because they're so big. Those the Planeswalkers are so big.
You read
Right?
Psych Rift!
I wonder if I can ever go through an episode without laughing.
Yeah, good luck.
Stoneface Sherman in the house.
I don't like it. I don't want to meet him.
But yeah, we can all agree Psych Rift is pretty bad for that, and these are the reasons why you shouldn't run it. Another thing reason why for Psych Rift is not as bad in blue, but you have to leave 7 mana up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a lot of untapped mana.
It is a lot. So
It's an easy tell, in my mind.
granted, you're in blue, so you probably have counter spells or anything. So it's
Or
a
you have
minor thing, but
or if you have the ley line out, if you have all your mana untapped, I just assume that's why.
ley lines. I love you, yet I hate you.
I just love them. I don't hate any of them.
Green.
What cards are bad at green? What shouldn't you play
All
in
of
green?
them. All of them. Green is horrible.
Green's a friend.
No, it's not.
I love green, but yeah.
No, it's not. We all know I don't like green. This is the only reason why I'm like this.
I know.
Yet I have green.
Who hurt you?
That's between me and my psychiatrist, okay? But I found a green card that I don't really hate it,
Yeah.
but I think it's stupid.
Okay.
Okay. And that's Birds of Paradise. Okay. Rank number 11 for green cards at EDH.
It's a good one drop,
Little bop.
but it
It's
all
a great
depends.
mana fixing.
What are you playing?
Yeah.
You don't need a birds in your elf deck.
Yeah, if you're mono green, there's tons of green ramp cards that are way better.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if you're playing multicolor, like 5 colors and all that stuff, okay, I can kind of see why, but at the same time, there's better cards to fix your mana.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, like people just look at this like this is the best mana fixing ramp card for 1 mana, and I agree.
Yeah, it's a great card.
However, okay, it is also in the category of the easiest card to remove in Commander.
It's a creature.
Yeah. Okay, let's go over the mana.
It's barely a creature. No one.
Yeah. A 0/1.
I've never seen anyone be like, I'm gonna block with my birds.
Yeah.
I swing with birds regularly. I find it very amusing to put counters on a bird.
I've swung with Birds of Paradise. Like, Brian...
I've killed with a bird.
Well, same here. Brian knows this, because when I was playing Modern and playing Devoted Company and everything, I was swinging with Birds of Paradise, and someone would have, like especially Brian, he would have, the bridge. I can't even remember the name. No, Ensnaring Bridge.
Ensnaring Bridge.
Yeah, and you have 0, and I'm like, okay, Birds of Paradise swings in because it's 0. I can still attack you. Oh wait, I have Ronus and infinite mana. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So I would win. But that's in Modern. That's 60 card. Okay, in Commander, let's go over this real fast. Okay, mana from best to worst for
Land.
the type. Now, number 1, land. Because let's face it, social construct in Commander. People normally don't go after lands.
No.
Unless they're playing Blood Moon, which I condole, but I hate being played against it.
We're
but I'll
gonna
still
skip
condole
doing
it.
red, it's Blood Moon.
Yes. Oh. Okay, so lands number 1. Second thing, enchantments. Why?
So hard to destroy.
Exactly.
Nobody runs enchantment
There is a lot
removal.
less enchantment removal
And
than
nobody
anything.
runs it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And that's the thing. Enchantments are either A, going on your lands, which we already talked about. People normally don't go after lands.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2, they're on a side where it benefits everyone, so
Yeah.
people tend not to go after it. Or 3, people don't have removal for enchantments in their decks.
Yep.
Because you only have 3 colors that really have removal for that. Okay? So enchantments are
And
the
people
second
don't
best.
run as many enchantments in general, unless it's an enchantment-specific deck.
Yeah.
In which case, it doesn't really make sense in your 100 cards to put a bunch of enchantment removal.
So
Per
what
section.
everyone should do is run Spring Cleaning.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Spring Cleaning is such a good card. No one plays it. It's 2 mana instant. Destroy target enchantment clash from an opponent. If you win, destroy all enchantments opponents control.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
That's a good one. But yeah, there's enchantment removal is just not really packed into decks because you're used to needing to. Ooh, they dropped a Nevinyrral's disc. Oh, they have Vorinclex out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
There's
need
a lot of
creature
those,
removal,
yeah.
you need artifact removal, you need...
You need all sorts of things, right? But that's why enchantment is the second best.
Yeah.
The third best is artifacts.
Like we already talked about.
Mana rocks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
So we won't bother with that. The fourth one is creatures.
Yeah.
Okay, because they can be removed either from someone attacking, you're blocking, or a lot of board wipes, or people just targeting it and destroying them.
Yep.
Okay, and
But they're a little bit better than our last category because they're creatures. You know, they have other.
They're
function.
repeatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can attack with them
and
and
they have
stuff.
other functionality.
Yeah. The last one is instants and sorceries. So mana
It's a
guys
one-off.
or stuff like that.
You know?
Yeah, it's one off. You get it for that one turn, and after that, goner.
Yep.
Okay, but considering all of this, creatures are second last. You're putting in Birds of Paradise, being like, "Hey, yeah, I'm gonna ramp," and then by turn 4, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, there goes my plan. Now I thought I was gonna go crazy. Now I'm not.
Yeah.
Because all my mana ramp were creatures. Oops. Oops.
You bolt my bird, you're my enemy for the rest of the night.
I go out of my
Bird
way to bolt a bird. I think it's so funny.
I've been path exiled on that bird many times. By now.
It's hilarious.
But past the Exile and Bird, I'm still fine with that because I'll still fetch a land.
Yeah.
Okay. But Bolt, well, first off, unless your deck specifically needs like a lightning bolt that ups the damage, who really runs a bolt?
No one.
Exactly.
It's not that great. And it's gonna be good in the Sir Kara deck. That's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling myself.
Or
It'll
the
be
Thor
alright.
brand, the new Commander Thor brand that does 1 red,
Yeah.
and everything that you do for that's a red source deals 2 extra damage.
Yeah, he's gonna be in
Yeah.
that deck too.
I have a lot of fun with that one in Arena. But
He's a cool one.
He's cool. But with green, why? There's so many other things you can do. Like green is the best ramp.
Oh yeah.
By
Okay.
far.
By far. Like, even considering instants and sorceries are technically the worst,
Yeah.
in green, it's the opposite. It's one of the best, because you have Cultivate, you have Kodama's Reach, you have Rampant Growth. These are things that are grabbing you
Harrow,
lands.
open the gates, everything.
Yeah, they're grabbing you lands that are the best for mana ramp. Okay? So, with that, green just kind of throws this out the window.
Yeah.
You know, saying like, no. We're taking the things that are really, really bad, and we're making them better.
just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're making them just fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And
it's like at that point, it's like, why are you running the birds?
yeah, like 3 mana compared to 1. Okay, I can understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you're playing in a casual format, normally it's like turn 1, pass. Turn 2, might play something. Turn 3, everybody ramps. Turn 4,
Now something's gonna happen.
something's gonna happen.
But those first 2-3 turns are kind of they're a wash.
yeah.
Well, they're a good way to get targeted too, like we were saying. If you get the big advantage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
If I'm
dropping a
sit-
soul ring and a birds. It's
if
like-
I'm sitting on a 4 mana turn 2 because I land Soul Ring Mana Volt or 5 mana, whatever it is, people don't like what I'm doing.
Nope.
Yeah. So, with that, don't run Birds of Paradise.
Well, no, do
Or do.
run
Do
run
you?
Birds of Paradise, but understand
strategic.
what it
Understand,
means.
yeah.
You know, if it's, again, do you need to color fix well? And what do you need on a turn 2? Like, how good of a 1-drop
How
is it?
desperate are you?
Yeah. And that's just it. In a monocolor deck, and I've seen lots of people run birds in a monocolor deck, and I just
Why?
don't know why. Yeah. Run a Llanowar. Just get more of those.
There's so many, even like if it costs 1 more, like Druid of the Cow or whatever, there's a lot of 2-drop green creatures that produce 1.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, just don't do it. Okay? If you're playing like 3 colors, okay, fine. 4 colors, sure. But once again, there's better ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in green. The Cultivates, the Kodama's Reaches, things like that. Those are way better.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering like they grab you 2 lands. One comes in top, the other one in your hand. Now you're guaranteed.
Now you're ready, yeah.
Now you're ready. You're ramping and you have another land to
For
drop
next
down
turn.
for your next turn. Okay? That's 2 mana, 2 lands that you're ramping better than the 1.
Yeah. The one little bird.
Yeah. So for me, Birdie, I'm sorry, I don't care for you. I only have it in 1 deck.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's my Yisan deck because there's a song for Birds of Paradise. There's also a band named Birds of Paradise, ironically
Nice.
enough.
I think I have one in my dragons.
I'm sure you have a bunch.
For
But
early
this
color fix.
This isn't cards that aren't good. This is
Yeah,
cards
cards
that
that
you
you
don't
shouldn't
need
play.
to run
Yeah.
in every color. Not every green deck needs or will actually have a use for Birds of Paradise.
Yeah.
And think of it this way: Birds of Paradise is still like $10 to $14.
Birds isn't cheap.
Yeah, it's not that cheap because it's used a lot in modern. Cheap chirp, cheap chirp, cheap chirp.
Well,
I'm sorry.
there's some good, like the old artwork birds. Love it.
Love
Oh
it.
yeah,
Card.
oh yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, exactly. It is still also on the pricey card, and
But once again, $10 compared to like 10 cents for a
What's-
Llanowar.
Yeah.
if that, I think stores just give those out.
Yeah.
What they did before was like a year
They're
ago.
printed in
They
everything.
had the special Llanowar one where you had to go for the do like the entry or the introduction one and everything. I got 2 of those.
I got one of those in my Savala deck.
They look so nice. Like the first full art of the Llanowar elves.
It's gorgeous.
But yeah, everything has Llanowar. I'm pretty sure you can find them in like dumpsters.
Yeah.
They're,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
everywhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah. They come just like with Omnath for free with Rogue's Passage.
That is true also.
People print pizza flyers on the back of them.
Yeah. Here's your special
It's on the
Llanowar
back
though.
of your receipt.
Okay, so that's green. Next is red, which is my other favorite color.
My least favorite color.
Why?
I don't know. I only like it for dragons. Other than that, I'm like,
We don't know each other now.
yeah, I don't know why we play together.
Ugh.
Anyways.
So red, this is the rank number 3. Okay. Keep in mind, if you're listening to this, like, hopefully in like 3 years kind of deal, you're still listening to us. Things might have changed. But as of right now, in 2019, this card is ranked number 3 in EDH Rec. And this is called Vandal Blast.
Battle Blast, good card.
It is a good card. I do not run a single copy of Vandal Blast. I literally do not.
I run it in one deck, and I have a lot of red decks.
Yeah. But like, let's go over Vandal Blast real fast, okay? Great mass destruction for artifact cards for red.
But red's full of it.
Exactly.
Red has so many artifact destruction. That's kind of what red does.
But like, if for red, okay, there's other cards. Oh, let's start from the beginning, okay? Let's say you're mono red, all right? Because most of this can be based around if you're a mono color.
Yeah.
If you're mono red, what are 2 things that red is bad for? 1, mana ramp.
2,
Draw.
everything else. But yes, 2 draw.
Yeah, okay. So, what do we look for to fix this? Artifacts.
Yeah, always.
Because we only have like, what, maybe 1 or 2 enchantments that will give us mana. Like, Braids of Fire, but that's only during upkeep.
Yeah, that's instant speed mana.
Yeah, we have like a few creatures that produce red, like Sisters of the Flame. Okay. But there's not much else. So we need artifacts for mana ramp.
Hard.
Yeah, they're consistent.
Yep.
Card draw, we rummage. Okay.
Well, yeah, exactly. You can dig.
Yeah, you can dig and all that stuff. But to me, that's not really card draw because I want the advantage at the same time.
Well, digging isn't drawing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't consider that as card draw. I want to, like, whatever. If I have 4 cards in my hand.
I want to have 5.
Yeah. Okay. Having 5 and going back to 4 because I have to discard a card does not count for me.
No, it does not.
Gamble is not an advantage card.
No.
I think Gamble's like ranked number 10 or something like that when I was looking through the list. Oh, Lord. But things like, because people are like, faithless looting though, or things like that. I'm like, no. Like, if you said tormenting voice, okay, I would consider that because you're discarding 1 to draw 2. Okay, or drawing 2, discarding 1. Like, whatever, okay?
Yeah, stuff like Cathartic Reunion does the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. So you're still gaining at least, you're netting +1.
+1, yeah.
Yeah. You're not evening out. So because of that, once again, if you're in mono red and you need card draw, what are you going to look at? Artifacts.
Yep.
So that's 2 things that we need that we say that are very, 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 very important. We're going to look at artifacts. And now you're looking at putting in Vandal Blast
Destroy artifacts.
to destroy artifacts. Why? Why?
Does it make sense?
Okay.
Vandal Blast is good if you're playing Krenko and all your goblins cost 1.
Yes.
Yeah, I can get that.
If you're playing a goblin deck, yes.
But even, like, sometimes there's times where I don't want to target someone else's artifacts. I want to target other things. Like, I run by force.
Yep.
Okay? X and a red to destroy X target artifacts.
Oh.
I can target things.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, and you could hit it for 5.
Yeah.
You know, like spend the same mana cost.
And that's the thing. It's like, I'm going to go for the big, like, the artifacts that are annoying. And people are like, oh, what if people have token creatures? You're in red, man. You have board wipes galore for damage, blasphemous acts, Star of Extinction, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Inferno, Pyrohemia.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Like, come on, people.
Red can really wipe the board.
Yeah, easy. That's the whole point of red.
Yep.
Damage.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions.
It's like my Mathis deck I have in the works right now, you know, because like Mathis is like the one. Is it Mathis? I can't remember. It's the one that puts a bounty on creatures.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like Mardu, white, black, and red, and my white creatures are the only creatures in the deck for the colors. Red and black, there are no creatures. Because all my creatures, I'm either giving it protection from black or protection from red. Because all my black and all my red spells are board wiping damage, like Pestilence, Pyrohemia, things like that.
How dare you?
It's funny! It's funny!
Bounty
I board wipe. Oh wait, mine are still alive!
Oh my god. Like, I couldn't imagine. That'd be amazing.
But it's, you know, but it's just stuff like that. So like, I don't care about if someone has like 1,000,000 Thopters or 1,000,000 Servos. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe them out with whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Okay.
Yeah, your options are nearly endless.
Yeah, And there's other things like Builder's Bane is an older one, where it's X, X, and red, and does the same thing. Yeah. It destroys X target artifacts. But the controller takes damage for the amount of artifacts that were destroyed.
And that's awesome.
So if someone has 5 and someone has like 2, and you destroy 5 and destroy 2, the one person takes 5 damage, the other person takes 2 damage.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo, okay? That's not bad. It costs a lot, but whatever. Echoing Ruin. 1 in a red. Destroy target artifact and all other artifacts with the same name as that artifact.
Get all those soul rings, yeah.
Yeah. Talking about soul rings. Tokens, all sorts of things. Yes, we're in a singleton format. But people tend to play the same bloody thing. Yeah. Okay? Oh, look, everyone has a lightning greaves. Let's destroy all the lightning greaves.
Hilarious.
Someone's playing Brune-clad? Ooh!
Yeah, destroy everything they have.
I kept a really, really weird hand. Prototype Portal, I think, is the Exile and Artifact, correct?
Yeah, and then you could tap 4 to bring it out or whatever.
I kept a hand because I had that and Seed of the Synod in it.
Oh!
So every turn I was tapping it, and I ended the game with like 10 or 11 of those because I had an unwinding clock. Somebody hit me with that card and got rid of all of my Seed of the Synod tokens. I would be very unhappy because I was having so much fun making a mana every time I could tap that.
Which
That's
would be
awesome.
And that to me would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because like in Commander, something like Echoing Ruin isn't usually going to have the same sort of value. But in those instances where people do play like token artifact
Something
decks,
silly, yeah.
Yep.
Somebody's coming at you with a what's it called? What's his name?
Someone hits you with a Mirror Battlesphere, getting the Mirror tokens.
Yeah.
Don't do that to my mirror.
I was gonna say Sherman.
I really wish we could
I feel like this is a call out.
Excuse me. Mirror Battlesphere I love.
Me too.
Personally speaking, but that would have been so perfect if we could use it for our logo and everything, have all the mirrors and they're coming out. It's like into the 99 and then have
the faces.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
But
anyways,
before we do move on, that
please.
card also is really, really good against one of the best cards I think was ever printed, Helm of the Host.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're making a lot of those things, and if someone has an artifact that is a good thing, a Memnarch like Sherman was talking about, any of those things, the ability to get rid of tokens or things with the same name is really, really good because if you have a lot of them, ooh, that's bad. That's real bad.
Yeah.
It just sounds like Michelson Lattice and for other lands, and then you get rid of their Darksteel Forge, and then it's destroy other lands. Oh, what have I done?
Yeah, Mycosynth and then hit their forests.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts. Oh,
no. Okay.
You can tell that he's a Splinter player.
Does anyone have any suggestions for a good green-red land destruction commander?
Numa? Well, he's 3 though. Because, if he's a dragon, if you...
Oh, Numa, yeah, the Devastator.
Yeah, Devastator, yeah. That's the
How
only one I can think of.
Devastating.
That is the only one I can really think of off the top of my head.
Don't you write that down.
He's green, red, and white, I believe.
I thought he was the Captain America colors. I could be wrong, though.
No, there's... Oh, shoot, you're right. I think there is blue in that. So it's blue, red.
Yeah, blue, red, white.
Okay, never mind.
That's too bad.
I was about to go build a deck.
I'll get back to you on that, because I always look at commanders coming up with stupid ideas.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Something fun there, yeah.
Ponza Commander. Great.
Very fun.
So, let's move on. So,
we've hit all the colors. We've hit all the
so that leaves...
colorless.
Yeah. That leaves one type left, and that is lands.
The honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Okay. So, this one, everyone does play, but the fact is, some people will put this in their decks when they really don't need to, and it's just, you just question it.
It's a waste of a slot.
It is a waste of a slot. And that is rank number 2 for utility lands in EDH Shrek. Because, let's face it, we're not going to put on basics in here.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, forest! Never put in a forest!
Damn. Yeah.
Don't put in, we
don't play mountains in this house.
Yeah. Okay, Reliquary Tower. Okay.
Great card again. Like we said,
totally.
These aren't bad cards.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But these are bad cards to put in every deck.
Reliquary Tower, taps are colorless, and you have unlimited hand size. Okay, fantastic. I love it. But let's think of this for a second. If I'm playing something like a Ned Mizzet deck or a Locust God deck or something like that, where I'm drawing like crazy, I want this.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing something like a Goblins or an Elf deck,
Why
like-
is it in your you don't have a hand.
Hazaret the Fervent. Here's my Reliquary Tower.
yeah. Like, let's look at that, okay? If I was playing Kefnet the Mindful, I want the Reliquary Tower.
For sure, exactly.
For sure. Because he can't, like, Kefnet can't do anything unless I have, like, 7 or more cards in my hand.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I can't attack or block unless
Yeah,
I
so you want to
have
be
that.
able to keep the high
Yeah.
amount of cards in your hand.
But Hazaret, on the other hand, is like, oh, I can't attack or block unless I have 1 or less cards in my hand. Why are you putting Reliquary Tower in your deck? And,
Please discard.
yeah, and let's face it, you have seen someone, I know someone has done it in front of you, doing this stuff. You know, having that Reliquary Tower, and you're like, but if I use, like,
If
a
someone
Wheel of
makes me
Fortune...
draw, or yeah, exactly. If we get enough cards, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You shouldn't be building your deck to be based around
What
what other
ifs,
people
yeah.
might do.
Yeah, unless you're like going against the meta or something like that,
Yeah.
because you're playing again, you know, the same 2, 3, 4 people, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, go ahead.
Well, look at a Muldrotha. Would you want this in Muldrotha? No.
No.
Your graveyard's your hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just want to self-mill, and people exile things with Bajuka Bob, use Mastermind's Acquisition, slowly grab things back, cast like Spellgorger Weird or something like that, to like sacrifice or bring back the Mastermind's Acquisition,
Yeah.
to cast it again and bring it back something for an exile, then cast it, you know, like just slowly turn. That's what I would do.
Yeah, like it just there's some decks that it's just not very good at. And how often are you sitting with no max hand size mattering? You know,
Yeah.
how often are you holding 18 cards? Like, man, I wish I had that Reliquary. It's not often, right? Most people are hitting 1 or 2 card draws. We say all the time, card draw is king. But who's out drawing their hand and having nothing to play
Constantly,
every
yeah.
turn?
Yeah, it just doesn't happen, you know. And like even those times when you're like, oh, but what if someone playing a group hug deck because they're giving all the draw, but you're also getting a lot
All
of
the
mana.
mana. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're dropping your whole hand anyways, unless you're Dan and puts down Tempting Worm.
Turn 1. Woo!
What a friend. Who is this guy?
That was a good game.
Yeah.
Turn 1 Tempting Worm. That was a real big turn 1.
Tempting Worm is one of my favorite
Lots
cards.
of people having like 7/7 flyers out before it even
I
got
think
to their
it's
first turn.
so fun.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
hilarious.
it. That's my favorite kind of ridiculous magic. That's my favorite way to play.
But that's the thing, like, you know, people will always come up with like counter examples that aren't really good counter examples.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like group hug. You know you'll draw a bunch of cards. Okay, fine, but you're also getting a bunch of mana at the same time. So who cares? Well, if someone's playing Necusar, okay, yeah, but you're probably going to get rid of Necusar anyway. So who cares?
That's the you're not keeping the Necrosar on the field.
Yeah.
So you can have the draw. You want it gone.
Yeah, you want it gone, and you're going to be going through your hand like crazy and everything.
We've
like,
talked about this. I hate Necrosar. We've been through this, guys.
yeah, and then you have the opposite where someone's like playing which Praetor was it? The blue one.
Ginger
Ginger
Taxes.
Taxes.
Hey, Brian, I am talking about you.
This is a specific call out post for Brian.
Yeah, because like you know he
Brian, we love you, but you need help.
Yeah, but what he's saying is because like was it on a Friday or
Yeah.
Thursday? He's like, look what I got,
And
the
Discord
shiny.
looking at the cards you got.
And I'm like,
Ginger Taxes, Sholdred.
yeah, and this is like before that. There's like in our group chat and everything. He's like, oh look, I'm gonna go down here and grab a bunch of group hug.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna build a
cards
group
like that.
hug deck, and he comes
And-
home with Ginger Taxes.
It's like, how is that a group hug?
I don't. I was like, please refer to our podcast because I don't think you know how this works. So,
But Reliquary Tower, well, like if you're not planning on drawing a bunch of cards constantly and just
Yeah.
like having an overflown hand,
yeah,
it's really
the colorless
pointless.
mana isn't valuable.
No, I'd rather have a tap land or something that produces like actual color.
Yep.
Okay, like there's no point in running Reliquary Tower unless you're like drawing a crap load of cards.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're playing like in blue,
Yeah.
okay, I can understand that because there's a lot of draw. All right. Black, Okay, I can understand that because if you're like running Necropotent or
Yeah, I think it depends. I
Ad
think it
Nauseam-
depends on your build. If it was black,
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it does go back to that question of how often do you have too many cards in your
yeah.
that's not often.
And
that's the thing.
I would even go so far as to say to hold off getting one, putting it in your deck until you've tested that deck out a few times and you can decide. Because
Yeah.
Well, there's
with the
some
exception of
decks
maybe
you're going to
Blade.
know.
Yeah.
Some decks you know you need
Yeah,
it.
like an Invincid.
Like, and the thing was with Reliquary Tower, like people are throwing in so much that the price is getting higher and
jacked.
higher. Okay, and it's like, but you don't need this. This is one of all these cards that we are mentioning. Okay, this is probably the one card you truly do not need.
Well, a lot. You see a lot of people just put it in things that you just shouldn't have
has
in.
no business
and they're like,
in
well,
any red.
Freya at least lets me draw a lot of cards. And you're like, all right, but
Eventually,
you're in green.
Yeah.
You have 100 mana and 20 Llanowar Elf tokens. Just,
yeah.
You're
Yeah.
good. You'll play it out. Just it'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It doesn't matter.
If you're
okay?
at a point to draw with Freyalise and it's going to matter that much, like you have the mana.
Yeah. And well, once again, like it comes down to how your deck is built.
Yeah.
Because like in my books deck, I do have a lot of draw.
Yeah.
So I have it in my deck. But I'm also playing Spellbook, which gives me unlimited card size or hand size. Library of Lang, the new one like from Thermal Drain.
Folio of Fancies.
Yeah, like I'm playing things like that, but it's like, okay, if I don't get a rare Reliquary Tower, I have other cards that will let me have an unlimited hand size because I'm going to be drawing a lot because it's a book tribal
Yeah.
deck.
Well,
I don't have powerful things.
Well, chances are, if you think that the Reliquary Tower is valuable, you probably do have other cards like that, other
Yeah.
cards to allow the no max hand size.
Well, and that's just deck building in general. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, it's good, but Overwhelming Stampede is really good. I'm not going to put it in a pillow fort deck.
Exactly.
Or Triumph of
exactly.
the Horrors,
Yeah, exactly.
or
So it's all of those things. It's just talking about like, yes, the cards are objectively good, but are they good in relativity to the deck that you want to play?
And not even that, but are they good in every deck? Because so many people just stuff it in. There's so many things people view as a staple.
Yeah.
I have built a lot of decks that don't include a Soul Ring because they just don't need one.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put a Soul Ring in if it just doesn't
Just
need
because.
one. There's sometimes I just cannot find a card to cut, and I'll take that Soul Ring out because I know I've got the cost, and there's other things I'd rather see.
And for someone like you, Daniel and Hope, you guys have a lot of decks.
Yeah.
Okay, let's face it, you guys have a lot. For me, I have maybe 8 decks right now, and even then, okay, out of those 8 decks, I'm not going to put a Soul Ring in every single one of them. Because sometimes it just gets up there, it gets pricey, right? Because right now, Soul Rings anywhere from $5 to $8.
Yeah.
Okay, depending on which version you want and all that stuff. Like the really, really old ones, 3rd edition, 4th edition, yeah, they're going to be higher and everything. Okay, but we're talking about the ones from Commander decks.
Yep.
Okay, those are around $5, $6 or so. And even then, that sometimes gets pricey for me because most of the time I like to play budget decks. Okay, like my Masako deck is a budget deck. I'm going to ramp it up in a bit, but it started off as a budget deck because I had a play group where we're like, hey, let's everyone play enemy colors, okay? So there's gonna have 5 of us. We're gonna play. We have a budget limit of $100, and in order for you to win, you have to defeat your enemy colors, and we're gonna sit in those positions, okay? And I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, okay. I have my build, and my first initial build was $40, and everyone's
Wow.
like, oh, I gotta figure out what to cut because I'm at 200 or 150. I'm like, I'm at
What can I
40.
add?
What can I add? Oh, well, Soul Ring, why not? Because I'm going to be playing with vehicles, so sure. You know?
Yeah,
well, like
same
you said,
difference.
though, if it's $5, I'm sitting at 130 decks. Ouch.
Yeah, that is a lot. For me, 8 decks, not so bad. Okay, I can totally do that. But if you're sitting at even if you have 20 decks, okay, I say most people probably have around 15 to 20 decks when they have been
At their
playing for a
top
while.
end, yeah.
On the top end, okay. So let's say 20. All right, $5 each.
It's a lot.
You just spent, a lot on there. Let's do some quick math. 5 times 20, 100. Yeah. Okay.
Just like that.
Just for
$100
Soul
on
Rings.
Soul Rings, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And that's just the base model. Okay. We're not talking about the older ones, because let's face it, we like the old art. All right, or if you get the masterpiece, which is $500.
Yeah,
imagine that.
I only run masterpiece soul rings all of a sudden.
Ew.
My soul ring budget turns into $20,000. But guys, I really like it.
I mean,
Yeah.
same, but
these are all like our opinions.
Yep.
They're not gonna fly
these are
for
not-
every single deck.
and these are not be all end all by no means.
Yeah, this is not a hard set rule. You do not have to do this. You can still play your Soul Ring, you can still play your Birds of Paradise, you can still play the Reliquary
In
Tower.
theory, you could play all of these cards in one deck. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
Yeah, you could. Okay. But all we're saying is consider other options.
Yeah.
Look for
And
other
really
things.
think about the build that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Okay, like
Just
if,
especially again with newer players, and if you're trying to get into a new color combination that you're not super familiar with, then I wouldn't take popularity as the law.
yeah.
You know? Really take your time and consider what you're building before you go out and buy a bunch of cards that you're going to end up editing out at a later date.
Yeah, and once again, this is like we play casually.
Oh, yeah.
We're not competitive.
No.
Okay,
I am.
and yeah.
Well,
But yeah.
nobody was talking about you,
but
Daniel.
you play competitive, but at the same time, when you're playing against other casual people, you play casually. You're
I
not
like-
yeah.
throwing
I like to-
things down like crazy, like you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. Like
Yeah, I
turn two.
think even though you can play competitively, you prefer casual play.
I just like to play Magic.
It's fun.
Yeah, you just like to play it. Okay, and we're all the same way. Okay, so if you want to play competitive and you need to throw this stuff in, we can totally understand. We're not saying you don't do that. Okay, but
Yeah.
if you're in a casual environment, who cares?
Yeah.
Throw caution to the wind. Mm-hmm. Okay, like you don't have to have that super powerful card that's like $60 that goes nuts and then you automatically win. No, it's only one card. Okay, make small improvements everywhere throughout your deck.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you do that, the more powerful your deck will become overall. But at the same time, if you want to play with other people, if you want them to have a good time, stuff like that, learn to hold back
At
or
the end
power
of the-
down your deck.
At the end of the day, it should be about having fun, right?
Yeah. I think
You
that's
like
what we
these
always.
people.
I think that's what we're always looking for.
Like these
Yeah.
people.
I feel like
Air quotes.
every single one of our podcasts is always going to end on, it's fun. We love Magic. Magic's a game. But that's really a point that I feel like we need to drive home. It's like, this is fun.
Yeah. But
And-
and we always say that because we do run into those occasions when people are like making it where they're like they have to win. Winning's number one.
Yeah.
If they're not winning, they're not having fun.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you're not like if you're playing competitive, I can understand that. But if you're playing a
Totally.
casual setting, you don't always have to win.
And you
I
won't.
go out to play Magic to hang out with people that I've enjoyed meeting. I really like a lot of people. I love the owner of our local game store. I like all the employees there. The play group is just an amazing, like it's a
awesome.
great group of people. I like going out, talking to people, seeing them. There's tons of familiar faces, and we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like the place that we go to is growing for Commander as well. So
Yeah, it's crazy
Like,
when you
it's
go in.
getting crazy.
Oh my goodness.
I remember when he first opened up the store. Like I knew the owner before he opened up the store, and when we first got in, like he had like all the people that would like he was friends with, he was helping, and we were helping him and all that stuff. And the Commander nights, there's like maybe like 8 people at most, you know, on some days. And now it's exploded to like, oh my goodness, there's like 40 people here.
Mm-hmm.
I've counted 60 Commander players out.
Like it's
That's
it's
insane. It's awesome.
It's a real good play space.
Yeah, it is fantastic. I love it there.
It's Ogre's Den Gaming Club. We should probably name it. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
an unnamed entity.
Shout out.
Yeah. So, but it's we love going there, and we do play. Like we play against whoever. We just don't care.
Yeah, we like to go sit down and play. We'll play any size games, 6-player games. I've played 10-player games.
Me too. That have lasted well into the night.
The fastest I've ever played for like how many people did we have? I think we had like another 10-player game, but. 2 people had Mogus. I had my Locust God with Fever
8-minute
Visions
game.
out. You know, and yeah, it was just people's life totals were just dropping like no tomorrow. We're like, oh, let's prepare for a long haul here, and then 15 minutes later, okay, 4 people are dead. Who's left? Okay, let's eliminate these tables and let's scooch together now.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Eliminate the tables.
Table 1 unite.
But hey, let us know what cards you guys feel that everyone says you need to put this in, or else you're not a Commander player.
Yeah. What are your
Well,
opinions?
it could
What
be
do you?
so much better.
Let's rewrite staples. Like, what would you even consider a staple as opposed to some of these items? These cards.
Basic lands. That is the only staple I will condone to. And maybe Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse. Maybe.
Maybe if you're getting a little crazy.
But yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Hit
Give
us up
the
on
reasons
Instagram,
why.
Facebook, our Discord, Into the 99 Podcast. We
Yep.
want to hear from you guys. We always do.
Well, you do. Sometimes I'm just so busy. I'm just like there's so
I
many
do.
messages. Like, oh my goodness. Sometimes, like, because we have our own little corner for us, the four of us
In the Discord, yeah.
in the Discord. And sometimes between Dan and Brian,
They go
I swear,
off.
yeah, you guys are like up at like 6, 7 in the morning,
Talking
and all I
about
hear is
deck
like bling,
text.
bling, 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 and I wake up. And it's
or
like,
Sherman's alarm.
yeah, I don't need an alarm because of you guys now. Okay, I just wake up and I'm like, oh.
So if anybody out there wants to be a part of Sherman's alarm, please start
No.
sending messages at 6
No!
Sherman only responds at 2 a.m. in increments of 18 messages.
If this happens, okay, I swear I'm gonna do something to you guys.
Yeah, good
I don't
luck.
know what it is. It will be crazy.
Buy us boxes of cards? Sure.
No!
Sherman.
No! Ugh.
On that
Why?
note,
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening, tuning in.
we'll see you next Sunday.
And please don't join the Discord just to do that to me, okay? Please, I'm begging you. Don't end it right now. I swear. Don't do it.